Hello everyone, this is Ninja Girl Sakura One here with another Tangled the Series review for you guys. Today we have a really fun episode, Flynnpostor. This is the last episode that Tom Caulfield and Ricky Roxburgh worked on, and it was just absolutely hilarious. And of course an episode all about the best Disney prince, Eugene, so it was great. But before we get into spoilers, if you've not seen the episode yet, please go watch it and then return to this video. Because, yeah, you should see the episode. It's absolutely fantastic. You will laugh your butt off. But yeah, spoilers. 3, 2, 1. Last chance. Okay, so this episode starts out with the captain of the guard having a nightmare. And he dreams about confronting Cassandra. He's there with all of his fellow guards, and he's actually confronting her. Trying to get her to stop attacking, trying to get her to stand down, and of course, she won't. And yeah, he doesn't want to fight her. And yeah, that's when he wakes up. And the next day, he decides that he can't be the captain of the guard anymore because he just cannot fight Cassandra. He can't fight his daughter. He doesn't want to do that. So, with a heavy heart, he decides to finally retire as captain of the guard. You had a good run. And of course, Frederick and Ariana respect his choice. And yeah, but the captain does have somebody in mind to replace him. Somebody who has always put his neck on the line, his life on the line, to protect Corona. None other than Eugene Fitzherbert! Yes, best Disney prince, future king of Corona, future husband to Rapunzel, is now also chosen captain of the guard, which, he's kinda hesitant about it. He's not sure if he's the right fit. He's not sure if he wants to do it quite yet. But Rapunzel kind of just encourages him and says he's gonna be fine. He can handle it. And yeah, that he'll be great, basically. But then they hear a commotion right outside of Eugene's room. And yeah, they hear that Rapunzel's gorgeous tiara, I freaking love that tiara, has been stolen! Again! Yeah. Of course. And not only that, whoever stole it got in the same way Eugene did in the movie, through the skylight in the throne room, in the ceiling. Uh-huh. And even Eugene's like, huh, wait a minute. Something's wrong here, because I'm the only one who's ever been able to do that. So they kind of ask, okay, who is it? What is going on? And they see a poster. And it's Eugene's face, but with a mustache. And of course this makes Eugene quite annoyed and kind of jealous and frustrated. So, yeah, he's pretty determined to catch this guy. Meanwhile, Varian, Lance, Angry, and Red are trying to set up a kind of a security alert system to where if Cassandra attacks, or pretty much if anyone attacks, there will be a signal using Flinoleum. Same stuff from the very first episode, the first official episode after the, the pilot movie. So yeah, that stuff's back. And yeah, Varian is trying to set it up to where if something happens, there will be a signal and they will know to get ready to defend themselves. So, pretty cool. Not a bad idea, Varian. Not a bad idea. But yeah, he's having a little bit of trouble setting it all up and putting everything together, but he's very excited about it, and it's cool. Meanwhile, Eugene is still just really focusing on this other Flynn Rider. It's really bugging him. Oh, and we also see the person who's painted all of his wanted posters and has always gotten his nose wrong. Always. But we do kind of see the reason. He keeps using cracked glasses. But whatever. But either way, Eugene is just totally annoyed and frustrated and determined to catch this guy. So yeah, he decides to just go after him and, end this. Confront this guy. And Rapunzel kind of understands. But Varian also mentions that as captain of the guard, he should kind of stay there until his device is done being put together. So, to get around this, Eugene decides to put Lance as temporary captain of the guard, and he's just thrilled about it. He loves the prospect of that, so, okay. So Rapunzel and Eugene go off, and they actually find this guy, and he is just looking at all his loot, looking at the crown, he's just ecstatic. He's got all this money, and he's just like, oh, look at this guy. Just look at him. He's just, so obnoxious. I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, that's pretty much what he says. And it's just hilarious. It's so hilarious. However, the guy then vanishes, and on Max, Eugene gives chase, and it's an excellent nod to the movie from the cat. You know how the captain was chasing him in the movie? Well, yeah. They parallel that, only it's Eugene giving chase, and it's great. It's so good. And yeah, Rapunzel and Eugene actually end up catching this guy and confronting him. And just like the movie, how Pascal woke Eugene up after Rapunzel knocked him out with a frying pan, yeah, with the tongue in the ear, same thing happens. This Flynnpostor is tied to a tree with Rapunzel's hair, and he wakes up, and again, like the movie, he does the, the hide thing, which you're seeing in this image right here. The smolder hide combo. But of course, just like with the real Flynn Rider, Eugene, Rapunzel doesn't fall for it. Not at all. And, it's just so hilarious. And, yeah, Eugene goes off on this guy, wanting to know what's going on. And, yeah, just wanting to understand why he took his identity, his alter ego. Of course, he doesn't get any answers. But, yeah, they then end up taking this guy to the Snuggly Duckling. And something very funny happens. Rapunzel's like, you always bring people here. Why do you do that? And it's Eugene admits that's because usually people hate it. So I guess Rapunzel never put two and two together that the reason he took her there in the movie is because he wanted to scare her enough to make her want to go back to the tower at the time. I guess she never put that together, but well, now she knows. He was trying to freak her out and make her not want to be outside the tower anymore. Hilarious. Oh my god. And the ruffians, they love this Flynnpostor. It's just great. He's telling stories and they're just eating it up. Eugene is getting more and more annoyed. And Rapunzel tries to tell him, look, you gotta let this jealousy go. It's not very becoming. It's not you. Why are you so mad? And he's like, well, Flynn Rider was kind of the only thing I had, the only identity I really had. Because as Eugene, even though Eugene's great, he feels like he's just Rapunzel's very dashing boyfriend, or the freeloader who's living in a castle. So yeah, it's kind of like what he was going through in, oh, what was the episode? It was so early on in season 1, where he applied to be a guard. Oh my goodness, why can't I remember the episode title? Not in, like, Flint, that's not it. Or was it? It's been so long. You guys probably remember the episode. But yeah, it's kind of like that. And yeah, but Rapunzel just tells him that Flynn Rider just isn't who he is anymore. And, you know, Eugene, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with being Rapunzel's dashing prince. And you are a prince. That's pretty darn cool. And one day you and Rapunzel will be king and queen. That's pretty cool too, you know. But yeah, I get it. Eugene just wants something that's his own. And Flynn Rider was kind of the one thing that was his own thing, you know. I kind of get where he's coming from. So yeah. But, Rapunzel also says, instead of being mad, why not try to help this guy, set him on the right path, you know, kind of like she did for him. And he calls her Sunshine and agrees, and goes to try and talk to him. However, the ruffians helped him escape through the same secret passage Rapunzel and him used in the movie to get to the rock quarry. So yeah, they give chase. And unfortunately for the Flynnpostor, however, the Baron had been following him, and during his little escape through the tunnels, he gets caught. So, yeah, not good. And meanwhile, with Varian's device, oh, he calls it the Rooster, by the way. But, yeah, they're still trying to put that together, meanwhile, and Lance just kind of keeps messing things up. And, Varian's trying to tell him not to touch anything. And he goes to leave for just a second to do something. And, yeah, Lance decides to add more linoleum to it. Not a good idea, but anyway. Yeah. Meanwhile, with Rapunzel and Eugene, when they finally catch up in the rock quarry from the movie, another great throwback. I do enjoy those. They see that the Flynnpostor has been captured and he's not alone, and Eugene instantly kind of recognizes the guy as the Baron. Yeah. So they go to try and help him. And yeah, the Baron's got him, this Flynnpostor, all tied up. And we also find out something else interesting when the Baron is looking at the crown. We find out that when Eugene stole the crown with the Stabbingtons, he was apparently supposed to give the crown to the Baron. He was doing it as a job. The Stabbingtons and him were doing it as a job for the Baron, apparently. So interesting. But of course Eugene was probably never going to give it to him anyway. Either way, though, that's a little interesting tidbit to learn. So yeah. And yeah. In the distance, though, after that mess, as Eugene and Rapunzel, well, Rapunzel's trying to lower Eugene into where the Baron is hiding, and he has the Flynnpostor tied up. Meanwhile, Varian's device explodes. Yeah. Lance's hearing is now gone because of this, and the explosion kind of causes a rock slide, so bad move, Lance. I love you, though. You're hilarious. But yeah. So, yeah, Rapunzel falls, Eugene falls, and he happens to fall right into where the Baron was, with the Flynnpostor. And, well, the Baron does at least recognize the real Eugene, because nobody has that fragile of an ego, according to him. Whatever. So, yep, he decides to tie both of them up. The Baron's really mad because he's got nothing left, apparently. And, it's just not good. Not good at all. And Rapunzel manages to finally get down there, and she is actually spotted by the Baron. So, uh-oh. And he goes up to fight her, causes a little, hole in the wall, in the cave, so that it fills up with water. He's trying to drown the Flynnpostor and Eugene while going up to fight Rapunzel. And Rapunzel does very well against him and tries to get him to see that Stallions, because he comments on how when he's done, she's going to wish that Eugene had stayed with Stallion. And Rapunzel responds with, well, Stallion's moved on. Why can't you? And he's like, because I got nothing to move on to. And fight ensues. Rapunzel actually gets roughed up a little bit. Not too bad, though. Not anything too bad. And she almost gets crushed by rocks. But thankfully, is saved by Max, because Max is the best. Best horse ever. So yeah. And meanwhile, Eugene and the Flynnpostor are down there talking, and we learn the Flynnpostor's name. Brock Thunderstrike. And Eugene's like, wait, what? Really? And they try to come up with a plan to basically pick each other's locks. Eugene manages to pick Brock's lock, but he decides to run away before freeing Eugene. And Eugene tries to stop him by saying, yeah, okay, running away is something Flynn Rider would do, but what would Brock Thunderstrike do? He tries to get him to change his mind, but he still runs away. Thankfully, though, Rapunzel had sent Pascal to try and help Eugene, so he is able to pick the lock before Eugene drowns, and he's able to get above ground to safety and help Rapunzel. He's almost hurt by the Baron again, but thankfully, Brock, the Flynnpostor, takes a frying pan, saying the famous quote, "Oh man, I've got to get me one of these." He knocks the Baron out, and yeah, not bad. Although the Baron's not down and out, he kind of recovers and still tries to attack, but together, Rapunzel, Eugene, and Brock are able to stop him and, yeah, tie him up, and are gonna take him to jail where he belongs. And, yeah, as captain of the guard, Eugene almost arrests Brock, saying, and even Brock thinks, yeah, this, I guess, is the part where Flynn Rider goes to jail, right? But Eugene decides to let him go, because he can tell, after their talk in the cave, that he's actually a good person, so, yeah. He decides to let him go, but makes him promise that he'll kind of carve out his own identity, do his own thing, and not just, ride the coattails of the name of Flynn Rider. And he does start off by getting his own little pet. A pet crab, which is cute. So yeah, he goes off, and hopefully we'll have a good life, He's not so bad a guy. But of course Eugene says, I really don't like him still. It's hilarious. So yeah, and the Baron is finally locked up, and Eugene talks to Lance again about how when he was offered the position of captain of the guard, he still wasn't sure that he wanted it, but in the end he decided that yeah, he'll go ahead and take the position. But of course Lance can't hear anything. His hearing's still damaged from the big explosion. And yeah, that's kind of where the episode ends. It was fantastic. Very hilarious. I loved it. And it was nice to get one last comedic episode because, yeah, we have 2 episodes left, you guys. Can you believe it? 2 episodes. Oh, man. Yeah, next week we have Once a Handmaiden, and then finally, Blosses on Blues. It's almost over. Oh, man, it's starting to feel real a little bit. But yeah. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Ricky, for all the work you've done throughout the series. You did such a wonderful job on everything. Thank you. We're gonna miss your guys' work, definitely, because those 2 have created some of the best episodes. They really have, so thank you. And yeah, I think that will do it for this review. It was a hilarious, great episode. And yeah, I will see you guys next weekend for Once a Handmaiden, where, according to the summary, even if you don't want to hear, by the way, apparently Cass is going to actually try to redeem herself. Try to make up with Rapunzel, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I imagine not well. But yeah, we'll see what happens next weekend with that. Till then, though, see you guys later.